Hi, welcome back to another one of my videos. And today's video is really special because this video will be the first video of a brand new series that I'll be working on. And in this new series, I'll be talking a lot about a lot of things in Japanese in general. You know, what are the things I like and what are the things that I do not like in Japan. What are the useful and not so useful things in Japan, and basically everything Japanese. Basically, it's just my from my perspective of a foreigner in Japan as well as a Singaporean in Japan. So you guys just let me know in the comments what kind of content you would want in this brand new series that I'll be working on. Tell me what you want to know about Japan, and as much as I can, I would try to put out, you know, videos to satisfy to answer your questions and your queries. So yeah, I'm in a really beautiful, like a public space here, so don't mind the car passing behind me because there's a road behind me. But I decided to choose this fantastic location this morning with the beautiful backdrop of a mountain in my area and a bright blue sky with not a single cloud in view to do this video. So yeah, basically this video will be just you know, purely my perspective and my opinion. You guys, your opinion and a perspective may differ, so don't mind. Go ahead, So in this first video, I want to talk about 5 words or 5 Japanese phrases that are really useful to remember if you're a non-Japanese, you do not speak a word of Japanese, and you're thinking of visiting Japan for holidays. And you're coming here as a tourist. It's just 5 really basic, simple words that you should really remember. It would really change your experience here in Japan, and not only in Japan, but I do believe that everyone should just learn a little bit of local language of a country that you're gonna visit. So just a little bit, not too much. It will really help facilitate your experience in that particular country when you visit. So yeah, let's just get on with the video. The first word that everyone should remember before you come to Japan or when you're in Japan is thank you. In Japan, thank you. There are so many ways to say thank you. So I'll just give you the most standard, the most basic one, which means arigato. Just say it fast, arigato. And that is the most standard form of Japanese to say thank you. There's an even shorter one, which is really casual, which means like domo. D-O-M-O, domo. It's really casual. So try not to use domo. I mean, for friends and everything, it's okay. But the standardized arigato works most of the time without any ill effects. And if you say it like in the really former, business language style, the really former Japanese one will be domo arigato gozaimasu. That is just too long, so forget it. Just skip it. Just remember arigato. It's thank you. And it's really useful in Japan to say the word arigato because like the word thank you. In Japan, you hear it a lot of time. People say it all the time because in Japanese society, it's a very polite society. It's all about manners. Mannerism is really important. So if you're receiving a favor or something, just say arigato, arigato, So yeah, it works, like go to the store, you get something, you ask for directions, like how to go here and there, and then you receive the instructions from the station staff. Just say arigato, I mean, saying thank you to somebody really makes a person's day. So, anyone might have a bad day, but receiving a thank you, that's a compliment. It's not too bad, So remember that, arigato. Second word, it's sumimasen. I say it again, sumimasen. Sumimasen is a really useful Japanese word that has 2 meanings. The first meaning basically means excuse me. So you can use it when you, want to catch a person's attention, or you want to ask for, a service or something. You can say sumimasen, sumimasen. Like you're in a restaurant and you want to catch the waiter's attention. Raise your hand up and say sumimasen in a loud voice, and chances that you will get people's attention, or if there's people blocking you and everything, and you want to get through the crowd, and you can just say sumimasen, 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 and you can just wiggle your way through the crowd. That's excuse me. That's how it works. Second meaning to sumimasen, the word, it means I'm sorry. So in the context, how do you use it in a situations like when you bump into someone on a train, when you know, um, do something wrong, you can always say "sumimasen" with a slight bow of the head to say like you're sorry. So yeah, it works. It's just based on my personal experience. It's weird. Like I'm from Singapore, so back then in Singapore, I was taking like a local train in Singapore, commuting, and I bumped into a Singapore like a office lady, um, and I said sorry, in the train in English in Singapore, and she wasn't very pleased even after I apologized. I mean, it was on a train, it was crowded, and the train was just like wobbling around, and it just accidentally bumped into her, you know. So no offense, but I said sorry, and she wasn't really happy. And on a separate occasion, I was in Singapore. I was listening to some Japanese music, and yeah, I was commuting again, and I bumped into another like one of those office ladies off work and everything, and just for a slip of my mind, and the word "sumimasen" came out of my mouth, and a little bow. And you know what? It was in Singapore, and the lady had a totally different attitude. Maybe because she thought I was Japanese. She's like, no, it's okay, no, don't worry. Yeah, so it's just it's weird. Um, yeah, but it's that's how you use it. So you must say, like, excuse me, and I'm sorry. Let's just go down to the third word. The third word that I think everyone should learn or should remember is onegai shimasu, or in short, onegai, onegai, like 4 syllables. So yeah, onegai shimasu. It's basically in Japan it means please, or do me a favor, would you? That's basically what it means literally. So it's a really useful phrase, and you hear a lot of times in Japan. When talking to Japanese people or when listening to Japanese people talk. So yeah, it's a really polite phrase to ask for a favor. So let's say you're in a store and you want you bought a nice product and you want it to be all wrapped up as a present nicely. So you can just tell the staff, like a present, wrap it up, and then onegaishimasu. Usually 99% they will do it for you. Yeah, because you're asking a favor in their language. There's no way they would want to decline you unless you're really like pushing your luck and whatnot. But basically, yeah, onigai shimasu. Remember that phrase. It's really useful when you're asking for a favor, like get ask somebody to get you something, like can you pass me the coin, pass me the food, pass me something, like onigai shimasu, onigai shimasu, could you do my report for me, onigai shimasu, so yeah, usually if you want it to work even more, say it with a more humble attitude, but yeah, onigai shimasu, really useful. Third word. Fourth word to remember will be dozo. Dozo. D-O-Z-O or D-O-Z-O. Dozo, which means go ahead, please. Go on. Situations where you will want to use the word dozo will be like when you're taking photographs at a like a tourist spot or something, and the Japanese people usually when they see people taking photos or whatnot, they will just try not to cut in front of the camera. So they will wait for you to do your pictures and everything. So if you don't want to, hinder those people from walking, just point it and say dozo dozo, and then point your hand in a certain direction and ask them to just go on, move along. Like yeah, please go on, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a really polite word to remember, like just to get people to like not wait for you, because Japanese people in general, they're very polite. If they see you doing something in the middle of something, they'll try not to interfere with you and try not to get in your way and wait. But if you let them wait too long, it's just not very polite. So it's kind of like a mannerism thing in Japan. So um, like public places, places that do not belong to you and I, just try not to hold up traffic, and those will go ahead, or in other situation where you will want to use the word dozo, like you're doing a party house, and you have food, and you have guests coming in, and you can just tell them those are literally means go on, please help yourself, to the food. And that's literally how you use it. Those are the four really important words that you should really um, try to remember them. So just let's do a recap. Number one, arigato. Okay, thank you. Number two, sumimasen, excuse me, or I'm sorry. Number three, onegai shimasu, or onegai, please do me a favor. Number four, dozo, which means go ahead, go on. And the fifth word, I was thinking, that's a few, I was thinking which one should I pick. Um, Directions, like left, right, or words like yes, no. Most Japanese will understand like simple English phrases like yes or no, or left or right. But yeah, I think those words are not so really important because yeah, the Japanese do understand if you say them in English. I think the last word that I think will be really useful will be as a tourist, from a tourist perspective, purely a tourist perspective, will be a ikura, which basically means how much. So you're going everywhere and you want to ask the price, so you point a product and you ask ikura, 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 it's how much. And obviously, if you're asking in Japanese, they would answer to you in Japanese, the price. But some places, especially the countryside, sometimes when you ask the word like how much, they don't really understand, So it's easier to just ask like ikura, how much, and then they'll tell you whatever price it's in Japanese, and you can just write it down on, flash your fingers and something. At least you get the main idea across, how much. That's the question you want to ask. Then to just, like how much is this, how much is this, they will probably not know what you're talking about. Probably you're asking what is this, or why is this like that, or there's a lot of like a million combinations of possibilities what you might mean. So yeah, as a tourist, from a tourist perspective, ikura, how much, it's really useful. So 5 words, let's just do the recap. Okay, thank you, arigato, sumimasen, excuse me, or I'm sorry, onegai shimasu, please do me a favor, help me out. And then what is that? What is the fourth one? Dozo. Yeah, go ahead, go on. And number 5, ikura, how much? Okay, these 5 Japanese words. Just try to remember them and use them when you're in Japan or you're with your Japanese friend. And let me know in the comments how it goes. Okay. I try not to hold up too much traffic here because it seems like everyone is just trying to drive around me, and everyone in this open car park is looking at me like, what the hell is this foreigner doing in the middle of nowhere talking to himself? But yeah, that's it. So I try to cut the video here, so you guys try to use Japanese as much as you can when you're in Japan, or any local language when you're in a foreign country. It would just help facilitate the experience. It will give you a better experience and facilitate everything a lot more. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for this, tuning in for this first video of this brand new series that I'm working on. And let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. I really need your support. So please subscribe to my channel and tell me what you want to see. Okay. In the meantime, take care and see ya. Bye.